Hey Taurus, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, this is a space for clear and authentic energy guidance. My intention is to provide insight, support that serves your highest and greatest good. So I honor your energy and invite you to take only what resonates. Remember, Taurus, this reading is yours, not mine. So we're going to dive in. I went ahead and channeled the messages coming in before pressing record. I like to just sit with the energy before because it's just an awkward silence. And it just, I know, some of you, I don't want to waste your time. So I like to just dive right in. So you got humility as your first oracle card. Life has a funny way of teaching us humility. However, the greatest lesson to learn from our tests and trials is not to be bitter, but to be greater. And then you got honesty. It has always been said that honesty is the best policy. Always remember to be honest with yourself and others. And Taurus, when I channeled your energy with tarot, it was such a beautiful message. It came out a little wonky and I was like, whoa. But in the end, it was like, oh, it definitely was a testimony of things never make sense in the beginning and they always make sense in the end. And I see massive growth here for you, Taurus. So you got the Page of Swords and the Four of Cups, both in reverse. And intuitively, Spirit gave me the message that, yeah, there is some communication coming in, maybe even some harsh communication coming in. It almost seems to me like tough love. It could be from an outside source or even from you. But this is your reading. So take it as it resonates. But there's some news coming in, some communication coming in that's it's not the best, depending on how you take it. The way I see it, the way you took it, is that you took it with a grateful heart. You took it with an open heart because the Four of Cups upright to me is like that. It's like that boredom, disinterested, don't want to hear it. It can even come off like a brat. And Four of Cups in reverse, I instantly got the message that whatever this communication was, whether it was from an outside source, could have been an air sign, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, or even yourself internally if you have Libra placements in your chart. This kind of gave you like a new perspective. I even get for some of you, and it's funny that humility came out because I did get a sense of humility. I also got a sense of gratitude. That came in very strong, like almost like being honest with yourself, that harsh truth, but it kind of changes the way you think about things. And it's like, you know what? I had to hear that, or I had to be honest with myself regarding this. You got the justice and the temperance, you got justice in reverse. And I definitely felt that for some of you, Taurus, there have been some injustices done to you in the past. I feel that deep in my heart, like so profoundly, like things just were not fair. It's like, why don't things go in my favor? Why is it that the good guy always ends up last, or I always get the crap end of the stick? That sort of feeling, I felt that profoundly. But with the temperance, I was like, okay, so Taurus is really learning how to moderate this. Taurus is really learning how to have humility and not being bitter, but becoming greater and knowing how to be honest with themselves. When I saw that temperance card underneath, I was like, wow, Taurus is coming from a place where it's like, yeah, things aren't always going to work in my favor, whether, and it can literally mean court issues, things of that nature. But, with that temperance card, it was like, wow, like almost an epiphany for some of you. Like, it's almost like the storm is clearing, but not literally, not physically. You're clearing it. Like your aura is clearing it. It's like for some of you, you were waiting for something externally to happen. And what ended up happening was internally, you shifted their perspective. You made the clouds disappear. You made the sun come out. You didn't wait for life to do it for you. You did it for yourself. I almost literally want to cry for some of you, Taurus. I don't know if it's because I have a particular song playing in the background or if I'm just feeling this profoundly, but I get like hope is restored with the temperance. You're pouring into yourself again. You're feeling, you're taking the good, you're taking the bad, and you're realizing, you know what? This is what this is what makes and shapes me. You know, these lessons aren't punishment. These lessons are for growth. And in turn, what ends up happening is your outer world shifts completely because you got the 3 of cups and the 10 of pentacles. And I was like, "Oh my god, Taurus, you made it. You made it without no one having to push you because I know for some of you you can be very stubborn. You did it on your own, Taurus. You literally fulfilled your own happiness, whether it's with others or yourself, and you mastered it. 10 of Pentacles, it's the end of, it's not the end of the road. It's just completing a cycle. And when I see the 10 of Pentacles, I think of mastery. I also think of like generational wealth, generational, completions. Maybe even some of you are breaking generational curses with this. It's some sort of release. I'm seeing chains being broken. You're breaking yourself from chains. You're breaking, I see handcuffs being broken. I just see like this relief and this sense of celebration, but it almost feels like I said internally. I don't literally see, I mean, you could be celebrating with other people. For some of you, something happens so profoundly with the way that you see it, like your perspective, it causes some sort of celebration. But I think this is really internally happening here. And you've literally reached a milestone in your life, like a checkpoint. Because when we come, before we come to this earth, we make checkpoints for ourselves, right? And we say, by age 20 or by age 40, we would have accomplished this fated event is supposed to happen. And I think for some of you, you've literally reached a checkpoint in your life, or some sort of turning point in your life that really allows you to see things from a different point of view and really shift your life in your favor. But it had nothing to do with what happened externally. It had everything to do with how you see it. So let's go ahead and get some clarifiers, even though I really wouldn't even mind leaving this reading right here because it's so beautiful. But just to dive a little bit deeper here. Oh, some of my, you know what? Maybe we don't need clarifiers because half of these cards literally fell. But I said I would, so I'm gonna do it anyway. Oh, let's see. Okay. Spirit, why did you make me drop these cards? Well, you didn't make me, Spirit, but they fell. So let's see. Okay, let's get a clarifier for the Page of Swords and the Four of Cups. Okay. Oh, the Magician. That's why. Yeah. The Magician is it obviously it's about taking all the elements. The Magician has everything: the air, the fire, the water, the earth, and literally shapes his life or whatever it is that he wants to actually come into fruition. So for some of you, this was something that you were like, you know what, I can look at it in a negative light, or I can look at this in a positive light. And I can, depending on how I want it to be, my perspective, because the Magician he's the creator of his own life. He doesn't play by anyone else's rules. He makes his own rules. And I think for some of you, with that Four of Cups in reverse, you realize, like, you know what? This isn't about external. This isn't about what the world can give me. This is about what I can create for the world myself and what I can give myself. Well, let's get a clarifier for Justice and the Temperance card. Justice in reverse and temperance. Even though I kind of get the feeling like, yeah, there were some things that didn't go in your favor, but you're handling it pretty well. So let's see what that is. Oh, wow. Three of Swords. Three of Swords. What did I say? There was heartache, there was heartbreak, there was disappointment. It did not feel fair. It did not feel fair at all. You was like, this, why do I always keep getting the crap end of the stick? But with the temperance, you're learning how to take those losses with the wins in moderation. It's like Taurus, you got a whole new perspective. Like your mind is different. You're like, you know what? I'm not going to expect good or bad. I'm going to expect what is for my highest and greatest good. Whatever is for me is for me. I'm no longer going to cry over spilled milk. I'm no longer going to, put my eggs in all in one basket. And that is freeing you so much. Oh my God, Taurus. That is freeing you. So let's get a clarifier for the Three of Cups and Ten of Pentacles. What is Taurus celebrating here? What is Taurus celebrating? Knight of Wands. There you go. That passion, that fiery energy again, that feeling of life. Oh my God. Even like that childhood energy. Knight of Wands, he's someone that's like, it's almost like, how can I explain it? It's almost like, when you're a kid and you have like your whole life ahead of you and you're so passionate and everything literally makes you like fiery, it's bold. It can be a little reckless, but the Knight of Wands charges ahead with excitement and confidence. You're no longer, I think even for some of you, if you've been depressed or you've been feeling like down in your luck or just not feeling life at all, which is completely understandable, you're really getting out of that. And I think this is happening because you're shifting your perspective with feeling like things never work out to, you know what? They work out for me because I say they're going to work out for me. If something wasn't for me, it's because it wasn't meant for me, not because the world wants to punish me or source wants to punish me or God or whatever. It's not because of that. It's because it's not for my highest and greatest good. And I think for some of you, you're realizing that certain things that happened in the past, certain tests and trials, they weren't to make you better. They were to make you greater. And that's the realization that's happening right now. So, bravo to you, Taurus. That's amazing. I'm going to pull an Akashic Records Oracle card to close this out. But this reading was amazing for this week. I would love to know what's going on. I would even love to know that it resonates with someone. So if you want to give me a thumbs up so I know that I'm not just talking to myself and it's actually resonating with at least one of you, I would really appreciate it. For your oracle card, oh, you have faith, Taurus. It's not always easy to have faith and trust that everything's going to be okay, yet still you must do exactly that. Because when you have faith, your life will begin to flow in magical ways that you never imagined were possible. That's your oracle card. That's your guidance for this week, Taurus. Amazing. So I appreciate you receiving this guidance. May you carry forward only what serves you, and may your energy remain balanced and protected. Until next time, Taurus, take care.